Everyone, please stand as the jury come in. Jurors, you may be seated. Okay. You all may be seated. Let the record reflect that the court is back in session in cause number 23 CCCR 2629. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Chase Kimball. Let the record reflect that Mr. Kimball is present in court. And Mr. Kimball is pro se, so he's representing himself. However, we do have a standby attorney Lori Peraza, who is also present in court. Let the record reflect that the state is present with Assistant Criminal District Attorneys, Attorney Haley Simmons, and Attorney Shane Hilton. And let the record reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. State, are you ready?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Defense, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
At this time, the state would like to invoke the rule, Your Honor.
Okay, if we have any witnesses in the courtroom.
They're not in the courtroom at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. So at this time, Ms. Simmons, would you like to present the information? And Mr. Kimball, would you please stand? You can tell him if he doesn't know. Okay. Ms. Simmons, would you like to read the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may go forward.
Thank you. In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and it presents in and to the County Court of Law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Chase Kimball, hereafter styled the defendant, heretofore on or about December 7th, 2022, did then and there intentionally prevent and obstruct Robert Hancock, a person the defendant knew to be a peace officer, from effecting the arrest of the defendant by using force against said peace officer, to wit, by struggling with the arresting officer against the peace and dignity of the state.
Okay. Mr. Kimball, how did you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, you may be seated. Ms. Simmons, would you like to make an opening statement?
Your Honor.
Mr. Hilton, you go forward.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may go forward.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to ask you to take a minute to imagine with me that you're a police officer. You're responding to a call about a domestic disturbance. As soon as you get there, get out of your vehicle. You hear yelling and screaming coming from the garage of the house. As you approach, that yelling and screaming will intensify. As you get there, you step into the garage and you see the defendant there with a baseball bat in his hand. In the back corner of the garage is his mother, and the defendant is yelling and screaming at her. You ask the defendant to step outside of the garage and talk to you, try to de-escalate the situation. But the defendant refuses. He looks at you, bat in hand, staring at you, he's got the bat, making eye contact with you. Telling, put the bat down, put the bat down. What he does. What's going through your mind? How do you feel at that moment? What do you do? The evidence you're gonna hear today is gonna show that that's the exact scenario that the Gross police officers found themselves in on December 7th of 2022. When they were responding to a call to the defendant's residence that he had assaulted his mother by pouring beer all over her and then he was holding her in the garage with a baseball bat. You're gonna hear from Officer Hancock, who was the first officer on scene. As soon as he got out of his car, he could hear the defendant yelling. As he walked up to the garage, that's what he saw, was the defendant there, baseball bat in his hand, yelling at his mother who was in the back of the garage. You're gonna hear Officer Hancock said that he tried to de-escalate the situation by getting the defendant to come talk to him, step outside, but he refused. You hear that his mother told Officer Hancock that the defendant poured beer all over her. And she had a towel on her head and her clothes were all wet. Officer Hancock told the defendant to put the bat down. Several times, put the bat down. The defendant refused. Each time. So Officer Hancock pulled out his taser and aimed it at the defendant, hoping that that would convince him to put the bat down. But he didn't. He continued to tell the defendant to put the bat down, but he didn't. So Officer Hancock discharged his taser, striking the defendant. The defendant dropped the bat, but he didn't go to the ground. And he immediately picked the bat back up and took a step towards Officer Hancock, yelling, screaming, angry. Until Officer Hancock was able to re-aim his taser, discharge it again, hitting the defendant, causing him to drop the bat. But again, he didn't go to the ground. However, this time Groves officers were able to surround the defendant and keep him from getting to the bat again. Took hold of him, got him to the ground, but not without a fight. The defendant struggled, wrestled, did everything that he could to prevent them from placing him under arrest. You're going to hear from Sergeant Hudson of the Groves Police Department that he was trying to restrain the defendant, get his hands behind his back, and get him handcuffed. He's going to tell you that the defendant grabbed his arm, was yanking, pulling, again, doing everything that he could to prevent Sergeant Hudson from placing the handcuffs on. You're going to hear from Officer Hancock that during this struggle, he broke his hand and he had part of that surgery on him. The struggle didn't end when they got him in handcuffs. You're going to hear that he struggled with them all the way until they got him in the backseat of the police car. Now, you're also going to hear from Linda LeBlanc. That's the defendant's mother. Okay. I don't know what she's going to tell you today. But she is his mother, and she wants to protect her son. But I also believe that you're going to hear that she is afraid of him, and that she doesn't know what to do about it. Finally, you're going to be able to watch this whole thing transpire. You're going to see the body camera footage from Officer Hancock. You're going to see the whole thing. From the time he steps out of the vehicle and he hears the defendant yelling from down the street. When he first approaches the garage and sees him there with the bat yelling at his mother. You're going to hear the mother come tell him that he poured beer on. You're going to see the towel on her head and her clothes are wet. You're going to hear him tell him over and over again, put the bat down. And you're going to see that he refuses and he keeps that bat in his hand. You're going to watch Officer Hancock tase him once. You're going to see him pick that bat right back up and step right at it. You're going to see him get tased again. And then you're going to see the officers surrounding, and you're going to see the fight, the struggle. He does everything that he can to to resist being put under arrest. And that's what we believe the evidence is going to show you here today. So on behalf of Ms. Simmons and myself, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for your time, thank you for your attention, and thank you for your service. And we look forward to trying this case with you. Thank you.
Mr. Kimball, would you like to make an opening statement? Or would you like to reserve?
I'm just ready to question witnesses.
Okay. Okay, at this time, Ms. Simmons,
Yes, Your
you,
Honor.
you can call your first witness,
The state's calling Officer Ross Hancock to the stand, Your Honor.
Hancock.
May I approach the podium, Your Honor?
Yes. Officer Hancock, you can come forward. Yes. You can raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, Officer Hancock, you may take the witness stand.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Good afternoon. Could you go ahead and state your name for the record, please?
Robert David Hancock,
And where are you currently employed?
City of Gross,
How long have you been with the Gross Department?
almost 12 years.
Are you a certified police officer?
Yes.
What's your current role?
As a patrol sergeant,
What does that entitle, or what does that entail, job duty wise?
supervision of the officers that are on duty, then I answer calls whenever we're busy, just 911 calls, things like that.
So you were working there on December 7th of 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you on patrol that day?
Yes,
Were you dispatched to a house on Foster Avenue?
yes, ma'am.
And what was the call that came in on dispatch?
911 call of a female, for an assault, and she had stated that she had, beer thrown on her, and that the subject was armed with a baseball bat.
Did you go ahead and respond immediately to that scene?
Yes,
Were you the first officer on scene?
I was.
Being the first officer on scene, were you supposed to be the backup officer?
Yeah, the call is actually assigned to another officer, but when I arrived first on scene, we send 2 units to that residence.
And when you approached the house, it was on Foster Avenue, correct?
Correct.
When you approached the house, did you park a ways off?
Yes, I parked my vehicle back away from the residence,
And why did you do that?
just so I didn't alert the actors out of the residence that I was there.
So whenever you parked your vehicle, could you hear anything even when you were parked away?
Good, I could hear yelling going from inside the house, like it sounded like it was coming out of the garage.
Was it angry yelling?
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like angry yelling to me.
So you were following that noise.
Correct.
Where did that noise lead you to?
Into a single car garage on the side of the house.
And what did you see?
I seen the actor standing there with a baseball bat in his hand, and I seen the victim standing in the back corner of the house as he's yelling at her. And then I think there was a male juvenile standing in the doorway going into the house from the garage.
Do you see that individual, the actor you're alleging in the courtroom today?
I did.
Can you go ahead and identify him by harmful?
Chase Kimball wearing a blue shirt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant. You may proceed.
So you're the first officer on scene. You see a male juvenile and you see the victim.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your thoughts?
Well, the call had come out that the victim had beer thrown on her, but she was assaulted by having alcohol thrown on her. So I see her, she's got on a shirt it's wet,
Just
so.
slow you down real quick, okay? But what are your thoughts in terms of safety?
Oh, well, I mean, he's armed with a baseball bat, so my first thing is to protect everybody that's on scene and then protect myself. So I wanted to get her out of there and and away from the person that's holding the baseball bat.
So in effort to diffuse the situation, Did you ask the victim, I believe Linda LeBlanc, to step behind you?
Yes, I did. I asked her to come out of the garage and stand behind me.
Are you still the only officer on scene at that point?
I think so. It's kind of chaos, so I'm just trying to focus on the person with the bat and getting the people to safety. So I know I had officers responding. I just wasn't 100% sure if they were there yet or not.
So Chase is holding the bat. Is he irate towards you?
Yes.
What are you telling him?
Tell them to put the bat down.
Is he putting the bat
He
down?
is not putting the bat down.
So at that decision, what do you decide to, or at that point, what do you decide to do?
Well, the next level was, if he wasn't going to comply with putting the bat down, and to protect everybody that's on scene, I had no idea what he's planning to do. I pulled my taser out. Hopefully it would effectively, he would realize like, hey, this is going wrong. Like, let me put the bat down. And he did not.
Did you end up deploying that taser?
I did.
Was that first taser effective?
No, it was ineffective.
So what did you do?
So whenever I deployed the first taser, it didn't work. He kind of dropped the bat and he ripped the taser leads off. Well, whenever he, that,
Slow down, okay?
Okay.
I know, one question at a time. We want to make sure the jury hears everything.
Okay.
So after that taser, that first taser, it was ineffective. Did the bat drop?
it kind of like went down, yes.
Did he then begin to comply with you?
He did not.
What did he do?
He picked the bat back up. Like he like raised the bat back up.
Was he even more aggressive?
He was much more aggressive.
Did he start stepping towards you?
Yes, yeah. He started moving towards me with the bat with this as he's raising the bat.
Did you make the decision to deploy the taser again at that point?
I did.
Was it effective?
It was not.
So just so the jury can understand a little about the taser, what's the 5-second cycle?
So whenever you deploy your taser, you pull the trigger on the taser. It doesn't matter if you let it loose, it still cycles through itself for 5 seconds. So it has a full 5 seconds. If you hold the trigger down, it'll stay active as long as you hold the trigger down. But we just pull the trigger, let it go, and it cycles for 5 seconds. No further, no longer than that.
So the jury understands, you didn't hold the trigger down.
No, I just pulled it, let it go, so it would do its 5-second cycle.
And you're taser certified? Does that require training?
It does, yeah.
Okay, annual training?
We can do it. We do our training yearly.
So at that time, we're talking December 7th of 2020, you were then taser certified.
Correct, yes.
Are you currently taser certified to this day? After that second taser still being ineffective, Chase is still irate.
Yes,
During that 5-second cycle period, did you then decide to effect an arrest?
I did, yes.
Did he trouble with you?
He did. He resisted the arrest. He continued to be aggressive and physically resisted us.
And I want to make sure, at that time the arrest was effected, did you have enough probable cause to establish that a Class C assault had been committed?
I did.
Did you notice that any other officers were on scene at that point?
I believe that there was an officer standing beside me. I'm just not sure which one it was, but I know there was an officer standing beside me at the time of my second deployment.
So in fact, when you were trying to effect the arrest, there was in fact other officers helping you,
There was, yes.
and it was still a struggle.
Right,
Chase still fought you.
yes.
Was he still irate?
He was still already.
Where's the male juvenile at this point?
I think that he was still standing in the doorway. I'm not 100% sure because it was just, there's so much going on. I know that the female was behind me because I could hear her, but
One thing at a time.
okay.
I know, we get ahead of ourselves, don't we? Did y'all eventually get him in handcuffs?
We did.
Can you tell me where you were holding Mr. Kimball?
So I had, from my position, I had gone underneath his right shoulder with my right arm and then over the top of his left shoulder with my left arm and interlocked my hands together.
He was still using force against you?
Right, yeah. My plan was just to get him to the ground and that way we could control him a little bit better on the ground than we were standing up.
So with that force being used against you, did you hear anything?
I heard a pop, yeah.
Where was that pop coming
It was in
from?
my left hand.
And at this time, while all this is happening, you showed up on scene in a marked unit, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're in your fully uniform for the Groves Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
There's no doubt you were an officer.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever he's handcuffed and you hear that pop, does he still proceed to fight the officers all the way back to the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, you may.
I'm handing you what I'm now marking State's Exhibit A. Do you recognize this?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And what is it?
It's a USB drive of my body camera footage.
Have you had a chance to watch it?
I have.
And when did you watch it?
I watched it the last week on Wednesday.
Can you tell the jury how this is recorded?
So this is recorded from the camera that I wear in the center of my chest on my body, my vest.
And is that device competent to make that actual recording?
It is.
Okay. Are you a competent operator of that body worn camera? Okay. And after watching it in its entirety, have there been any alterations?
No.
Does it fairly and accurately depict the events that happened that
Yes,
day?
it does.
Your Honor, I'm going to tender this to defense for inspection and ask to publish or submit.
Mr. Kimball, you have any objections to that? No objections? Okay, State's Exhibit A is admitted. Yes, you have permission to publish.
We'll not have to have the flag off. If you don't know.
Is it? Okay.
Officer Hancock, I'm going to go ahead and play your body worn camera in its entirety.
Okay.
What's going on, man? She prepped me, bud. Now, how's she doing? Yeah, now, I'm motherfucking, I'm gonna beat myself. I'm crazy. Chase, come over here. Chase. Well, you can go nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. Baseball bat down. Nah, you don't see it. Baseball bat down. Well, no, you can see my pole, the baseball bat down on my face. Put the ball, you know, baseball bat down. Put it down. She ain't going, I was gonna shoot you. They're gonna go, they ain't gonna see it. You want to grab, Chase? You want to grab, right? You want to grab, tell me to get up.
Okay, now, Mr. Kimball, watch the video. You don't have to make it. Okay, do not make any sidebar comments, okay? I told you, you're gonna be held to the same standard as a lawyer. You're representing yourself as your own attorney. Okay, you may proceed.
All right, let's go and go on, Brian. Fucker. Get ready. Roll over to me, go. Every time. I didn't get up. Let me get up, wait. It's me, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know what from. I went to house. I was just like, fucking you. I think I took it out of place. I put it back in. I think, but goddamn. Nah. Fuck, boss, fuck. Ah. Oh. Fuck. Ah. That's it. Oh, I'm sure with my hand, I like the 400 fuckers down. We fucking did nothing. That's why I think it went out of place, but I still can't move it, it's still fucking sideways. Alright. Get a chance, motherfuckers. We're not one damn one. I hate you motherfuckers. Y'all have ruined my life the last 5 years for nothing.
Yeah.
You're a good ass fucking person. Ruined my life. We're not going to jump. What are you fucking call? Resistance chase. Yeah. How long am I talking to the call? Yeah, camera. Take a picture of my hand real fast and then take a picture of him and get his ass out here. He's going for resisting, obviously. It's this finger. I can't straighten it anything. Anybody else got any injuries, blood on your clothes or anything like that? Huh? You got his set of keys still?
Yeah, is it your keys? Is it your keys? Yeah.
Let me see, you gotta get pictures of him when you get into the jail. Which hand is broken? It's this one right there. It's not, I don't know if it's broken, it's out of place, but let me take a picture of the garage real fast.
We got.
Okay, all right, take his ass to jail for resisting.
Well, hang on, I got one pocket. Did you tell him to stop? And he started backing?
Yeah, I told him put the back down multiple times, yeah.
You also might have a solid on it. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't know if I popped it out of place where I can't, it's this finger, I can't bend it back straight now. I moved it.
Ring finger?
Yeah, I moved it, it popped, for sure it popped and went, and then it was sideways. I got out here and moved it back, but I can't bend it any further. That's it, that's as far as it's bending.
You can't make a fist for me?
It hurts up in here.
I can see it's swollen.
Yeah,
Here's the one thing stays on.
When shit pump.
Bad again. Then you gotta tell you the same time. So you repeat it, drop it back. Yeah, it takes twice.
yeah, you gotta taste twice, I tasted twice.
They dropped the valve a second ago.
Yeah,
What do you get one thing? And he was trying to get away from you?
yeah, he started, when I told him to put the back down, I started backing into the corner. Yeah,
Yeah. There's something there.
yeah, now I see that, cause I wasn't looking at it till just now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, that's not gonna be popped out of socket either.
Yeah, it was sideways, I moved it, but
Be right here.
yeah, now I see it back in here, yeah. Shit. I had a baseball bat, you won't put it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh
Have you
yeah.
hit one?
No, we never got a chance to hit him, I tased him twice. And
No.
the second time he dropped the bat, no, we had to fight him to the ground.
I did these chest open there.
Okay, yeah.
Pager deployment flight.
So then invading was just,
Okay.
yeah,
He said he wants an ambulance, so.
yeah, we,
So. Round three, told him to drop the bag.
yeah, he got a knee strike to the face, his face is bloody, and then we tased him twice, so it's got 4 different prongs in him. What do we have to say with you, because he's combative, he gonna fight.
I'll fight him.
His name is Chase.
Chase.
How long ago for? Okay, so Matt's gonna check you out.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock. Hey,
You want, look,
I like the job for this one.
okay.
Like, came on real good.
It's been on, hold on, just stay in the car, Chase, stay in the car.
Where you hurting it?
Huh?
Where you hurting it?
They tased me like how many fucking times, like 20 feet away from you, 3 or 4 fucking.
Twice.
Yeah, I shot at me a couple times.
Twice.
Got one of the thing. I know I got 1, 2, 3, that's 3 right there.
You're not hurting anywhere?
Huh?
You're not hurting anywhere?
I don't know, dude. I just got shocked at my shit and he tried to choke me till I was dead when I was behind when I was laying on the ground, my hands not about choking me. I don't need to check out, get my fucking neck checked, because he tried to break my fucking neck in my fucking garage right there.
You're
I'm
not
gonna let bang my head on the ground, that's my leg, I told you I'm in pain right now.
Oh, we have to make it hurt.
Huh? I told you my fucking, oh, good, hey.
I'm asking you.
Y'all good. I don't know why I'm arrested for and why I'm in handcuffs, my thing, but I didn't do nothing wrong.
Okay.
What's up? Yeah.
So. About you can do this thing. Jim may refuse to move, so he got bring to the hospital, call for put off. If the jail refuses him, have put off immediately at the jail, because he's gonna continue to fight probably. Yeah, so before you ever get going if they refuse him, then immediately call and have put off and route meet you at the jail for combative.
What's that?
I was telling him if the jail refuses him, then we're gonna take the hospital, so perform the call put off immediately,
Yes.
meet you at the hospital.
Did
It's going, you're gonna fight.
you tell him to come in?
Yeah, no, I told him to put the bat down. I said, drop the bat, put the bat down. He wouldn't do it. He said, no, I'm not fucking going anywhere.
Okay.
No.
I don't know if we don't have the evading, but we don't, the resisting, we have to have the rest first of it, so,
And I told him multiple times, put the bat down, to drop the bat. And at first I told him to come out and talk to me. He said, no, I'm not fucking going anywhere. So I told her to step away. And, that's when he kept on, I said, well, Chase, put the bat in the form. He's not, I'm putting the fucking bat down. I told him multiple times.
he grabbed the bat, he grabbed it with both hands.
Yeah,
He was swinging.
yeah, he was so.
There's no way back, there's no other way around that.
Yeah. Okay.
They're looking at it now, but she said he never threatened her, he just,
Pour beer all over it.
little beer on it, so you might have class C.
Yeah, class C,
Soft,
yeah.
and thumb.
Yeah.
But his son said the same thing, he's doing the same stuff, but he keeps on saying it's an everyday thing, but they didn't really refer to it as this day, so going for him.
I gotta go to the hospital, it's back here. Yeah. I'm gonna call Tony real quick, let him know.
You don't know, man.
Oh. It's this one, well, it's now stolen back there a little bit, I can't bend it at all.
Looks like it's going down.
Yeah.
You wanna go to the hospital and get it checked out?
I'll go there, get, $30 on the show. What? No, we got, we got.
They don't help it from, they're not really, fortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. When I have to, since it's on duty, I gotta go get it looked at, so.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be lifting weights for a little bit with that.
No. Hopefully it ain't broke, maybe it's just.
Yeah, no shit.
Brain.
Yeah,
You wouldn't check him out while we're here.
no, I would think we're gonna, cause you can look, I mean, try to. Yeah, let him go, talk to him.
You ain't no big guy, dude. If you think you a big guy, I ain't talk to you, I ain't.
Okay.
If you think you, yeah.
You wanna get checked out?
Huh? Hey, get up and sit these other motherfuckers. They fucking hate me. Behind my back. To cut off my breathing for at least over 30 seconds with my hands on my back, handcuffed, and tagged me through. These blind bitch ass motherfuckers trying to kill my ass. And they have tried to frame me and put shit on fucking, dude, you don't know what all these whole ass motherfuckers trying to do. But it's, I mean, dude, hey, thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'll have your dog over this one.
I've heard that.
I'll have- There's no bitch. It's all on camera.
It is.
It's all on camera. Y'all take me, excess reports and everything else.
Real quick, where are you hurting at?
I'm having to go to the hospital and get checked out, okay? I'm in handcuffs to begin with. I don't be in the breast to begin with. You're nothing wrong. I have nothing to do with it. Nothing wrong, motherfucker. Smile, bitch. You going to hell. Y'all motherfuckers been fucking with a good ass person for no, y'all know it too. Y'all know it. What's your name? Chase Kimball. Mr. Kimball. Oh, buddy, hey, what's your name?
My name's Jerry Dub.
Hey, Gary Duff, hey, I've had these people trying to send women in my house and set me up with drunks in my house, trying to set me up with stolen stuff and everything for the last 5 years. There's still all kind of fucking horrible shit to a fucking person. We need, okay. If it was done to you, motherfucker, it'd be a completely different story. They know it too. They know it too. These people are fucking evil.
I have nothing to do with that.
Huh? And they just did that. I got a bad, I walked away from them because these motherfuckers let me come out trying to set me up. So of course I'm gonna have a thing to defend myself against these fucking tired, evil motherfuckers.
Mr. Kimball, you said you wanted to go to the hospital.
Fuck yeah, huh? Cause I've been tagged like 3 or 4 times. There might be something wrong with my heart. And he tried to choke me out over more than 30 seconds on body camera.
Okay.
When you smiling, bitch, hey, they ain't touch that bitch, motherfucker, got nothing on me. No. No.
You mind if I check your vitals and stuff real quick?
Now I wanna go to the hospital.
Well,
Cause I'm really suing these motherfuckers, cause I lift bust too, I bang my head on the ground. See that too?
okay, I see
Okay,
that.
okay.
Part of
Hey, look, I ain't talking to them, y'all are big, all big game. All good. Wonder why.
So you don't want to talk to
Hey,
me?
no, I'm in the hospital, doctor, you're not a doctor.
That's your paramedic.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Y'all want him to go to the hospital with us, or y'all want to take him to the hospital?
We'll take it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. They're gonna make some shit up, whatever, yeah.
Never been burned. Oh, it's a regular thing, with him, all the time. Got any refusal, any sign of refusal?
I have an objection.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court is gonna take a break at this time. I'm gonna ask that you step out, follow the bailiff outside. Everyone, please stand as the jury exit the courtroom. You may be seated. You may be seated.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Well, let the record reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. Ms. Simmons, you may proceed.
Briefly, Officer Hancock, we noticed on that body worn camera, whenever it was playing, the screen kind of goes dark.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened there?
That was my chest pressed against his back as we went to the ground. Camera was blocked by my body pressed against the top.
So that was just the effects of the struggle that was ensuing?
Yes, yeah.
You said you heard a pop and you were obviously in pain. You went and saw urgent care? Did you go to the hospital?
Yeah, so I felt when I felt the pop, I kind of like heard it resonate through my body, and I knew that there was something wrong, so. After seeing the video and everything, afterwards I went to the hospital, we did x-rays on it, the bone on this hand is completely broken too, pushed up like that.
Real quick, going back, why did so many officers show up?
Well, there's an alert on the address to send multiple units to the address because the subject that lives there. And then because the subject was come out as calls, armed with a possible deadly weapon, both all show up at that time.
So that's why there were several officers on scene.
Correct, yes.
Was it due to the aggressive nature of the call
Yes.
and the person living there?
Correct.
Okay. Permission to approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may approach.
I'm showing you, actually, let me grab my pen. You can go ahead and mark these as State's Exhibit B. State's Exhibit C. State's Exhibit D. And E. If you would flip through these for me, Officer Hancock, and tell me what these are.
First one is a picture of an x-ray of my left hand. The second one is a picture of my left hand with a metal plate and 6 screws. The next one is a picture of my hand after surgery with stitches in the top. And then the next one is another x-ray of my hand, a side view x-ray of my hand with a metal plate with 6 screws.
So this was all a result of the injury you sustained from Mr. Kimball
Yes.
on December 7th, 2022?
Yes.
Does this, or do these pictures, all exhibits, fairly and accurately depict the injury that you sustained as a result of the use of force? Okay. Permission to publish, or let me tender to defense for inspection. Thanks.
No objections?
No, sir. No.
Okay, no objections. State's exhibits B, C, D, and E are admitted.
Permission to publish to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
I'm sure you all these right here. Here I have State's Exhibit B. State's Exhibit E. This right here, Officer Hancock, State's Exhibit E. What is that right here in your hand?
So it's a metal plate that goes across the top of this bone, and then it has 5 screws that go down in the top, and then there's 1 screw underneath the plate. Through the 2 bones sideways, hold the bone in place.
Did this injury cause you to be out of work?
It did,
For how long?
I think 2 months.
So during that time, you had to be placed off patrol for 2 months. All as a result of Mr. Kimball's use of force against you. State's gonna pass the witness. Sorry.
Okay. Mr. Kimball? Mr. Kimball,
So,
you may ask the witness some questions. You can, Mr. Kimball.
yeah, I'm coming.
Okay,
It says on your police report, I moved towards you with a baseball bat,
Yes, sir.
correct? Well, the video showed that I'm backed away from you.
Honestly, sir, I went to the hospital meeting after this. I'm not sure how many days after I wrote this report. I had to use one hand to type, so I'm not 100% sure exactly when I actually typed this report up. I mean, it was immediately afterwards because I was injured. And I may not be recalling the incident.
Do you remember what your lieutenant said on that video about arrest, resisting arrest, and how arrest can be made?
Yes.
Remember what he said?
I mean, I remember talking, I don't know exactly what he said.
He said, there has to be a reason for arrest to be made where you can. I can't remember the exact words he said, for resisting arrest to be banked.
there has to be a reason for arrest.
Yes, sir.
You remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I'm good. The video's good for me.
Okay, you don't have any more questions?
No.
Okay. And, Ms. Simmons, do you have any more
Very
questions?
brief.
Okay,
What was the basis for the probable cause for the arrest?
It's an assault, if I've ever heard.
And was it a classy assault?
It is a class C assault.
And that's why you effected the arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness? Gentlemen?
Mr. Gilmore, do you have any more questions?
No.
Okay. Uh, Officer Hancock, you may step down, prior to you coming into court, the rule was invoked. And I'm sure you know what that means, basically that you cannot talk to anybody else about this case other than the attorneys,
Yes, sir.
in this case. Now, if you violate this rule, you can be held in contempt of court. And if you're held in contempt of court, obviously, you can be placed in jail for up to 180 days and fined up to $500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you may step down
Thank
and
you.
you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Ms. Simmons, you may call your next witness.
Sir, that will be taking the next two witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Hilton, you may call you
Linda LeBlanc.
LeBlanc.
Yes, sir.
Briefly, Your Honor, I'm gonna grab her real quick. She's upstairs.
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're gonna have a short break. We're gonna ask that you follow the bailiff out into the hallway. Everyone, please stand. Court being recessed. You may be seated. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 2629, case of style of state of Texas versus Chase Kimball. Let the record reflect that Mr. Kimball is now present in the courtroom. Let the record reflect that Attorney Laura Perazzo, the standby attorney, is also present. State is present with Assistant Criminal District Attorneys, Attorney Haley Simmons, and Attorney Shane Hilton. Let the record also reflect that the jury is now present and seated. State, are you ready?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Defense, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ms. Simmons, about Mr. Hilton, you may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor, the state called Linda LeBlanc.
Linda LeBlanc. Please come forward. Ms. LeBlanc, stand before the bench. Raise your right hand. Ms. LeBlanc, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, Ms. LeBlanc, you may take a seat. Mr. Hilton. Okay.
You're right.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. LeBlanc. Can you state your full name for the jury?
Linda LeBlanc,
Okay. And can you spell it for the court reporter?
Alexa,
Your full name.
LINDA LABLANC.
Okay. And do you know Mr. Kimball?
Yes,
How do you know him?
my son.
And do you see him here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And can you identify him for the court by what article of clothing he's wearing?
Pardon?
What article of clothing is he wearing?
Good on blue shirt, was red shirt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that she's identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect the witnesses identified the defendant. You may proceed.
Where do you live at, Miss?
On Rose,
And what's your address?
5148 Boston.
Okay. And is that in Jefferson County?
Yes,
Okay. And who lives there with you?
well, Chase, lives over there with, and my grandson Gage.
And back in December of 2022, was Mr. Kimball living there with you at that
Yes.
time? Okay. I want to focus specifically on December 7th of 2022. Did something happen that you called the police?
Yes,
Okay. What was going on that day?
remember everything. It's just that Chase was having one of his episodes where he was, angry. And he had a bat in his hand and he would put the bat down. And, I called the law to try to get him to settle him down, because I was afraid he might start hitting the walls or something. I didn't know. Or, I didn't know what he was gonna do.
You say he had a bat and he wouldn't put it down?
Right,
Okay. Did Chase ever poured beer over you?
yes.
Do you remember if he poured beer on you on December 7th, 2022?
Not quite sure, but I mean, possibly yes.
Uh,
I don't remember exactly what happened that day, because it was a long time ago, But he has done that before, many times.
On the time on December 7th, when you called the police, do you remember talking with the police officers?
When they came out, yes.
Do you remember giving a written statement to them?
I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I mean, I talked to them before they left.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, you may.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes, yes, I do.
Is that your handwriting?
Yes, that's my signature.
And can you tell what date is on there?
December 7th, 2022.
And that's the date that you called the police?
Yes.
And would this be a statement have been written at the time of the events that,
Yes.
and would this statement be an accurate description
Yes.
of what happened that day?
Yes, yeah,
And you said that was your signature on it.
that's my signature.
Would you have signed it if this was not accurate?
No. That,
We had F. I will offer station exhibit F. After trying to,
No,
You have any objections to State's Exhibit F?
no, sir.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit F is admitted.
can you read that document to yourself? Does that refresh your memory as to whether or not he poured beer on you?
yes,
And did he?
yes,
And it was on that date?
yes.
Can you see the screen? Is that you on there? Trying to get it.
Yes, it is.
Is that partner?
Now, how's it doing? Yeah, now, motherfucking, I'm not,
Is that you there in the
That does
back?
not look like me. But. I mean, I don't have red hair. I have a towel on my head.
Objection, all this is irrelevant to resisting arrest.
Miss, okay, that's your objection?
Hmm?
Okay, State, what's your response?
You want to go to the assault, that's the underlying arrest for the resistance?
Okay, is this the tape that's already admitted in evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, this is State's Exhibit A.
Okay, this tape is already, okay, your objection is overruled. Okay, you may proceed.
You said you had a towel on your head?
Yeah, so I guess, yeah,
Okay. Why did you have a towel on your head?
because he poured beer on my head.
Okay. And during this event, did Mr. Kimball threaten you?
This was a long time ago. I can't remember what words we spoke. You know, I can't remember what I said. I was just trying to tell him then to put the bat down, I believe. But before that, I can't remember what I said. He was just acting crazy, you know, he was scaring me. That was the main thing. Do we put the bat down? I don't remember what we were arguing about that day.
No further questions at this time, Mayor. I'll pass it.
Okay, Mr. Kimball, you have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Hear the story?
Well, you may approach the witness.
Can you read that? She got her. Can you read that? Can you read that while I'm looking here?
What?
Can you read that, your,
I
statement?
already read it.
Can you read that loud, everybody can hear it? Judge, and the jury.
Chase has been taking Kratom and drinking Blue Moon. He acts irrational all the time. He needs psychological help. Please help him. He poured beer on my head, has lots of stuff stolen from our house. Nails at all our tires constantly. He feels threatened all the time. These people are watching him. He just deserved willing of that. He moved back away from the officers. They rushed him and choked him. The accident one officer broke his finger and kicked him to get him down. He would not get down. His mouth was bleeding when officer did this. Chase needs help, not jail.
So you didn't witness it, him choking me, Officer Hancock? It's not on here though. You didn't write that in there.
Huh?
It's not on your report right here on your, did you see him strike?
Only one person could talk at a time. The court reporter is taking, Mr. Kimball, hold on, I was speaking.
Yes,
Only
I
one
did see
person
the
could talk at a time, and so the court reporter is trying to make a record, so when one person talk, you allow them to finish and then you can talk. Okay, you may proceed, Mr. Kimball.
Remember what happened to that vehicle in the driveway? Well, the reason why we're arguing today?
Objection, Your Honor. That's the motion eliminated. This is a roll.
It's relevant.
Well, hold on a minute. Okay, hold on, wait up, Mr. Kimball, hold on. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're gonna ask that you would step out into the hallway. I can't,
So, what did he say with I wasn't ever arrested for that.
well,
It's more like a
listen,
ticket.
I understand, but I mean, it's not no time at this point to debate with me.
No, it's not debating.
Okay. So we need to bring the jury back in, Ms. Mosby?
Yes, sir.
You may be seated. Let the record reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. At this time, Mr. Kimball, you may proceed.
I have no further questions.
State, do you have any more questions?
No,
Ms.
Your
Witness?
May this witness be excused, Your Honor?
Yes. Ms. LeBlanc, the rule has been invoked, and what that basically means is that you are not allowed to talk to anyone about your testimony here today. And when you have to leave the courtroom, and you won't be allowed to come back into the courtroom unless the bailiff or myself asks you to come back in for maybe some follow-up questions. Let me find out from the state. Is she free to go?
Yes, Your Honor, sir.
And Mr. Kimball? She's free to go? Yeah, you'll be allowed to leave? Okay. And you have a blessed day. Mr. Hilton, you can call your next witness,
They call Sergeant Hudson, Your Honor.
Sergeant Hudson. Sergeant Hudson, you can come before the bench. Sergeant Hudson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Hudson, you may take a seat, and you can adjust the mic and the chair. Mr. Hilton, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you state your name for the jury?
John Hudson.
What is your occupation?
I'm a lieutenant with the Groves Police Department
How long have you been with the Groves Police?
since April of 2011.
And are you a licensed peace officer?
I am
And how long have you been a licensed peace officer?
since October, November 2008.
And where did you work prior to working for Groves?
Prior to that, I was with the College Police Department for 2.5 years.
And what is your current position?
I'm a lieutenant over the Criminal Investigation Division of detectives.
And what is your duties there?
I do follow-up casework. I put a lot of cases, what we call put-togethers, do follow-up. If somebody reports a crime, I do follow-ups on that, and then I oversee the detectives.
And when did you start that position?
I've been in detective since 2014. I was promoted to sergeant in 2017 and to a lieutenant in 2024.
So on December 7th of 2022, what was your position?
I was a sergeant in the detective division.
And what were your duties at that time?
Same thing that I do now. I just have a higher rank, but essentially I did more follow-up work as a sergeant. Now I do a lot more administrative type stuff, but same stuff.
Okay. And what kind of training and education did you receive to become a sergeant?
To become a sergeant, well, it was just years of service, and then I've been to a new supervisory course in particular with that. I've been to numerous courses over my career though.
And to become a peace officer, what kind of education and training did you have?
I went to the basic police officer academy in the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office there.
And have you received any kind of specialized training in your years as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, numerous.
What about with, the use of tasers? Have you received any special training in that?
Yes, I've been through the basic taser user course. I'm now a taser instructor.
And how long have you been an instructor?
I don't recall what year, but it's been several years.
And how often do you conduct training for tasers for the Groves Police Department?
We do it yearly.
And are officers allowed to carry a taser if they have not completed the training?
No, we don't allow them unless they've been through the course.
And as the instructor and a sergeant, is it your job to keep up with whether or not they're certified or trained?
Yes, that's my job. Yes.
Okay. And do you know if Officer Hancock was trained and certified to use a taser?
I didn't conduct his initial certification. Somebody else had done that, but yes, he is certified to do it and attends the yearly trainings.
Do you know if he was certified in 2022?
Yes, he would have been.
Okay. Can you explain for the jury, what is the purpose of the taser?
The taser is what we call a less lethal option of force. It's used to control, it could be combative subjects. Sometimes us just showing up allows people to, they're compliant. Sometimes they're not. We have to sometimes use higher levels of force. The tasers in that use of force continuum, if you will.
Would it be fair to say that it's an alternative to deadly force?
It is a lower threshold of deadly force. We try not to use deadly force as much as we can, obviously, but yes, it is a less than lethal force. It could theoretically cause somebody's death by them like somebody could fall off of and hit their head on concrete or something like that. That's why it's not called a non-lethal, but it's not intended to cause serious bodily injury or death, so it's not considered a deadly weapon.
Is it a tool that you use to de-escalate potential violent situations?
Yes, we do use that regularly.
Okay. And can you explain to the jury how the taser works?
So the taser has a cartridge on it that fires 2 darts. The darts both are energized. What we teach is that we want a greater than a 12-inch spread to cause what we refer to as neuromuscular incapacitation, and I might say NMI, but that basically means when somebody's shot with a taser, we want both darts to make a connection and their body to essentially lock up and become incapacitated so that we can take them into custody.
What happens if you're not able to get that 12-inch spread?
So what we've seen is when somebody shoots somebody with a taser at less than a 12-inch spread, it's very similar to what we call a drive stealing. It just causes them pain. It doesn't cause their body to lock up.
Mm-hmm. What do you do in a scenario where you fire the taser, but you don't get the 12-inch spread and the person is not incapacitated? Do you have a procedure in place?
Every circumstance is different. They might get shot with it, not be incapacitated and comply. If they don't, then we train on reloads to fire another cartridge. Most officers only carry 1 to 2 cartridges on their person. It becomes bulky and takes up room for them to carry extra. So most officers carry two. There are some that only carry one. But yes, we do train in the reload of the second cartridge.
And what happens if the second time still don't get the NMI, as you call it?
And it's a case by case basis. Anything can happen. There's another officer there. They may utilize a secondary taser. The person may be compliant. Again, it depends on the circumstances. Every situation is different.
In your experience, have you ever been involved in a situation where a taser was discharged and you did not get NMI?
Yes, I've been on several situations like that.
And you've been on situations where a second charge was discharged and it did not complete the NMI?
Yes, I have.
And in your experience in those situations, has there ever been times where you then had to use hand-to-hand contact with the defendant?
Yes, I've been several instances of that.
Have there been instances where, even though the taser was discharged the second time and it still didn't incapacitate them, that they comply?
I've been an officer for 16 years. I'm sure it has happened. Several instances come to mind where it didn't work out that way, but it's possible it's happened. Yes.
But it's fair to say that in your experience, most times after that, it becomes a hand-to-hand situation.
If somebody has to deploy two cartridges, usually they're not compliant for some reason. So yes, this generally involves us going hands-on or using some other force option.
And do y'all have received training for going hands-on situations like that?
Yes, we do. We train to, specifically the taser, we train to do what we call cuffing under power, which means as the 5-second cycle of electricity is flowing, we try to get onto them and cuff them while the energy is going through. But yes, there's use of force options that are taught. There's different classes that different officers might receive throughout the police academy or their careers.
Turn your attention to December 7th of 2022. And were you on duty that day?
Yes, I was.
And were you wearing uniform?
I was wearing like a detective attire, so I was in my uniform, but not in the uniform you see me wearing now.
Did you just have a badge to display?
I was wearing a polo shirt with an embroidered badge on it, a metal badge on my belt, a gun, handcuffs on my, but I wasn't wearing the uniform like a patrol officer generally wears.
But your clothing identified you as a police officer, is that correct?
Yes, it did.
And you know where you were at approximately 5:20 p.m. that day?
I would have responded to 5148 Foster in Groves.
And what was the nature of the call that you were responding to at that?
There was a disturbance involving subject named Chase Kimball, allegedly that had a bat with him and his mother were having some type of disturbance.
And you said you responded to that, Andrew?
I did.
What happened when you first got there?
I heard a commotion coming from the garage. Another officer, Sergeant Hancock, was yelling at Chase to drop the bat.
Okay. When you first arrived, where was Officer Hancock?
Standing at the garage door entrance of the garage to the house.
And where was Mr. Kimball?
Inside the garage, if you're looking into the garage, kind of to the right, will.
And do you see Mr. Kimball here today?
I do.
Can you identify him for the court?
Sitting at the defense table wearing I'm colorblind, but a light blue shirt.
The record reflects that he's identified the defendant.
The record will reflect that the witnesses identified the defendant. May proceed.
I mean, you saw Officer Hancock engaged with Mr. Kimball? What was going on?
He was holding a bat. He was ordered to drop the bat numerous times. He failed to comply with that. Taser was discharged, which we could tell caused a kind of like a pain compliance, if you will, but it didn't cause the NMI that I referred to earlier. So he reloaded his taser and fired another cartridge. At that point,
Okay, let me stop you there. So it didn't receive the NMI, so it didn't incapacitate you.
no, I did not.
Okay. Did he still have the bat?
I believe he dropped the bat, if I recall. I'm not so sure if he picked it back up. I'd have to refer to my report.
Yeah, there with you.
Yes, I did.
You can use a refresher memory.
Yeah, he reached down and was grabbing the bat with both hands.
Was that before or after Officer Hancock had discharged the second taser?
Yeah, this was before the second taser cartridge, or after the first cartridge.
So after the first taser discharge, he dropped the bat. Is that correct?
Right.
And then he picked it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And then at that time, Officer Hancock discharged the second charge.
Correct.
Did that make contact with Mr. Kimball?
It appeared to, but again, didn't cause the NMI.
Did he drop the bat that time?
Yes.
Did he pick the bat up back up that time?
I don't think he was able to before we pushed forward.
Do you know why there were so many officers there for this call?
Based on the nature of the call and other factors, yes, I did one.
When you say the nature of the call, is that because it was involving a potential deadly weapon?
Yes,
And that was a baseball bat?
correct.
And so you said you were able to prevent him from getting the bat. What did y'all do?
After the second cartridge was fired, I did not cause NMI, so we pushed forward and all of us grabbed a hold of him to control him and try to get him in hand restraints or handcuffs.
Did Mr. Kimball comply with you trying to get him in handcuffs?
No, I did not.
Did he resist you?
Yes, he did.
How did he resist?
By physically pulling his arms in front of him, failing to go to the ground as ordered. When we were eventually able to get him to the ground, he still pulled his arms in front of him. I was fighting one arm, another officer was fighting for another arm, and it took a little while for us to finally get him into custody.
You specifically, what were you doing in this? What was your role?
In which part?
When you were trying to get Mr. Kimball to the ground?
Well, so there was about 3 or 4 officers on him. Nobody was able to get him to the ground. I delivered knee strikes to his torso to try to kind of take his breath away, essentially. It seemed to work. He fell to the ground. Once he fell to the ground, we still were having difficulty getting his arm behind his back. And I was, like I said, was fighting for his left arm to get it handcuffed.
And you say you were having difficulty. What was causing that difficulty?
His physical strength pulling against us.
And when you say you were trying to get his arm behind his back, what was he doing to prevent that?
Pulling it basically in front of his chest, to where that's kind of what a lot of people that resist will do, and they'll pull it towards their chest.
Were you telling him to stop pulling?
I believe I was, yes.
Did you ask him to put his hands behind his back?
I'm sure I was yelling at him to put his hands behind his back.
Did he comply with any of those requests?
Not without physical force, no.
Were all the officers there in uniform?
So it was myself and another detective in the uniform that I described, and then 3 other officers that were in patrol officer uniforms.
Do you know if Officer Hancock was in uniform?
He was.
And did you see the bat that Mr. Kimball was holding?
Yes, I did.
What kind of bat was it?
I believe it was a standard metal baseball bat.
When you say standard, so like you would use to play baseball?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't longer or shorter than what you would see somebody playing baseball with.
One of the little ones that you get as, you know, souvenirs or anything like that?
No, it was not.
Did anyone get hurt during this?
But yes, it is.
Who got hurt?
Sergeant Hancock sustained a broken bone in his hand, and the defendant claimed that he was hurt, so EMS was called for both of them.
And was the defendant taken to the hospital?
I don't recall. I mean, if he was, that wasn't my responsibility to take him, so I don't recall if he was.
Was he compliant with EMS there at the scene?
Not to my recollection, no.
I have no questions at this time. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Kimball?
It says right here on your report, due to the nature of the call, I did not grab my BWC prior to leaving the police station, and no audio visual data was collected on me with the BWC.
Body worn camera.
So you just said you had a recorder. What is a recorder? You had to go back and look on your recorder to see what happened.
I don't recall saying recorder. I think I said our report.
Your report. Oh, you got a report. Okay, paper. It's fine. Okay. You know, I just like to play the body cam footage from all the other police officers. Okay.
This, okay, now
I'm done.
you said you'd like to play,
I would like to play the body cam footage from he didn't have a recorder on from all the other officers there.
okay,
I'm done questioning him.
okay, now let's do this. Okay, Officer Hudson, the rule has been invoked, so you know, that means you cannot talk to anyone else about your testimony. Once you leave the courtroom, you're not allowed to come back in. If you violate the rule, you could be held in contempt of court. Okay, so at this time,
There might be potential redirect. Your
you have a
Honor.
redirect?
Potentially, we don't know yet. We're still in the stage of cross.
I think he said he was finished with him, did he?
Your Honor. Yeah, I think we need to refer to the document.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on.
You can move to it.
Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, Mr. Kimball, are you asking, the court to admit
Yeah,
video evidence of
Other
other witnesses at this time?
yes, sir.
Okay, state.
State would object, Your Honor, the predicate has not been laid and this witness is not the appropriate witness to create to support the evidence that is seeking to be introduced.
Okay. Your objection is sustained. What that means is the court is, you can't get this evidence in through that witness
Yes, sir, I
because
understand.
it's
I'm a
not,
little-
it's not his tape, and then there's a
Well, I'm just questioning him.
there's a proper procedure to
Okay.
that a proper way to get it in.
Okay.
Okay. State, do you have any questions, any more questions of this witness?
None at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, so again, Officer Hudson, you're free to go. I just want to remind you the rule has been invoked, and you have a blessed day.
You do.
Okay. State, do you have any more witnesses? Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're gonna ask everyone to please stand and follow. It might be 10 minutes, 10-minute break. You can stand and follow the bailiff into the hallway. Everyone may be seated. You may be seated. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in cause number 23 CCCR 2692, case of style of state of Texas versus Chase Kimball. Let the record reflect that Mr. Kimball is present and seated. Let the record also reflect that Mr. Kimball's standby attorney, Ms. Laura Ferrazzo, is also present in the courtroom. State is present with Assistant Criminal District Attorneys, Attorney Shane Hilton and Attorney Haley Simmons. Let the record also reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. And state, you have rested, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Kimball, the state has rested. Do you have any evidence or do you rest?
I rest also.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen of the jury, both the state and the defense have rested their case. And so at this time, the court has to prepare a charge. The charge is the document that contains the law that will be given to you before you are allowed to go into, well, before they do closing arguments and before you're allowed to go into the jury room to deliberate. Now, at this time, the court will be in recess while the court prepare its charge. Hopefully we can try to get that charge back in a couple of minutes. So at this time, we're gonna ask that each and every one of you go out into the hallway, follow the bailiff. Everyone, please stand as the jury exit the courtroom. No, I didn't. Oh, no, you can look at it. I was just concerned it was on, the screen was black. You hear? Yeah, okay. You may be seated. Court will be in recess. You may be seated. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23-CCCR 2629. Case is style of the state of Texas versus Chase Kimball. Let the record reflect that Mr. Kimball is present. Mr. Kimball is pro se. And attorney Lori Perazzo, the standby attorney, is also present. Let the record reflect that the state assistant criminal district attorneys, attorney Haley Simmons and attorney Shane Hilton are present in the courtroom. And let the record reflect that the jury is now present and seated in the courtroom. Members of the jury, I'm going to read to you the court's charge. The defendant Chase Kimball stands charged with the offense of resisting arrest, search, or transportation, alleged to have been committed in Jefferson County, Texas, on or about the 7th day of December of 2022. To this charge, the defendant has entered a plea of not guilty. A person commits the offense if he intentionally prevents or obstructs a person he knows to be a peace officer from effecting an arrest, search, or transportation of the actor by using force against the peace officer. It is no defense that the arrest was unlawful. So that you may better understand the nature of the offense with which the defendant is charged, I now define certain terms and words. A person acts intentionally or with intent with respect to the nature of his conduct when it is the conscious objective or desire to cause the result. Therefore, if you believe from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant, Chase Kimball, did in Jefferson County, Texas, on or about the 7th day of December 2022, did then and there intentionally obstruct or prevent Robert Hancock from effecting the arrest of the defendant by using force against Robert Hancock, a peace officer, to wit, by struggling with the arresting officer, and the defendant knew that Robert Hancock was a peace officer, you will find the defendant guilty. Unless you find beyond a reasonable doubt, or if you have a reasonable doubt thereof, you will find the defendant not guilty. General instructions. All persons are presumed to be innocent, and no person may be convicted of an offense unless each element of the offense is proved beyond a reasonable doubt. The fact that a person has been arrested, confined, or indicted for, or otherwise charged with the offense gives rise to no inference of guilt at the trial. The law does not require a defendant to prove innocence or produce any evidence at all. The presumption of innocence alone is sufficient to acquit the defendant unless the jurors are satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt of the defendant's guilt after careful and impartial consideration of all the evidence in the case. The prosecution has the burden of proving the defendant's guilt, and it must do so by proving each and every element of the offense charged beyond a reasonable doubt. And if it fails to do so, you must acquit the defendant. It is not required that the prosecution prove guilt beyond all possible doubt. It is required that the prosecution's proof excludes all reasonable doubt concerning the defendant's guilt. You have a right to consider all the facts that are shown by the evidence and to draw natural and reasonable inferences from such facts. You alone have the authority and duty to determine what the facts are. In evaluating the evidence, you must totally disregard what you believe is my opinion about any factual matter. You cannot question the bailiff concerning the testimony or the law, nor should you discuss the case in her presence. If any question develops during your testimony, let me correct that. If any question develops during your deliberation, it must be reduced to writing, signed by your foreperson, and given to the bailiff. The question will then be answered by the court as soon as possible to the extent allowed by the law. Questions and comments of the attorneys do not constitute testimony and must not be considered as evidence. You must also disregard any statement of the attorneys that is inconsistent with the law contained in this charge. Any physical exhibits admitted in evidence will be furnished to you by the bailiff upon your request. You must not consider facts that have not been introduced in the evidence or any legal principles not contained in this charge. It is improper for you to discuss or consider anything which you know or have learned outside of the testimony presented to you and the law contained in this charge. If you should discover that you have outside information, you should not mention this information to any other juror, nor consider it yourself in arriving at a verdict. Our law provides that a defendant may testify on their own behalf if he elects to do so. This, however, is a privilege accorded a defendant, and in the event he elects not to testify, that fact cannot be taken as a circumstance against him. In this case, the defendant has elected not to testify, and you are instructed that you cannot and must not refer or allude to that fact throughout your deliberations or take it into consideration for any purpose whatsoever as a circumstance against the defendant. You are the exclusive judges of the facts proven, the believability of the witnesses, and the weight to be given their testimony. However, you must be bound by and strictly follow the law contained in this charge. Your failure to follow the law could result in a mistrial being declared, and your deliberate violation of this charge could subject you to being held in contempt of court. After the attorney for the state and the defendant present their arguments, you will retire, select a full person, and consider your verdict. The arguments are not evidence, and you should give the arguments only the consideration you feel they deserve during the evaluation of the evidence. It is the duty of your full person to make certain that your deliberations are conducted in accordance with this charge. After you have reached a unanimous decision, your full person should sign the appropriate verdict page attached to the charge. In returning your verdict, it is your responsibility to make certain that justice is done in this case. Now, the verdict form looks like this. There are two locations, one at the top, one at the bottom. Now, if your verdict is, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty as charged in the information of resisting arrest, search, transportation, then your full person will sign the top of this verdict form. Or if your verdict is, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty as charged in the information of resisting arrest, search, transportation, then your full person will sign the bottom where it says full person. State, are you ready?
Thanks, Your Honor, and at this time, we would reserve our right to open, or waive our right to open and reserve right to.
Okay. So, Mr. Kimball, the state has a right to open and close. They're reserving their right to close in the closing argument. So therefore, if you would like to make a closing argument at this time, you may approach the podium.
I'm emotionally tired because of this. It's been going on from 22. This case has been bounced around courtroom to courtroom, judge to judge, the courtroom, announcement, trial, about the announcement. I wish y'all could see that. That would show that there was something not quite right going on with me. There's so much evidence I could present here today, but my bond got pulled for some reason after going to court for 3 years on this. They just decided to drop it, where I could be put in jail.
I'm gonna object to that in a statement of the fact, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Kimball, you have a response to the state's objection? Y'all seen the video, y'all heard what I said, it's the truth. Okay, well, I'll sustain the
Okay.
objection. No, okay, I was just.
Mostly tired, this 22, this almost until 2026, and our cases don't normally get bounced around like this unless there's something not right. But
That's it?
that's it.
Okay, you may have a seat.
Your Honor, I'm gonna place something on the screen.
Okay, you are.
Ready.
Oh,
I'm gonna object to the sidewalk comments, Your Honor.
okay, now, Mr. Kimball, the court has previously instructed you on how to conduct yourself in a trial, and you, as I mentioned to you, you're held to the same standards as an attorney. Okay, this is closing argument. You had your opportunity, now the state will get their opportunity. Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon again. So I'm sure you all know, you'll listen to the defendant say sometimes there are procedures we have to take to get to trial. We can only go one at a time, so it's natural that, sometimes cases take a while to get here. It's not due for cause for delay. We're here today to make sure Mr. Kimball did in fact have a just and fair trial, and I submit to you that's exactly what we did. You'll remember in voir dire, I asked y'all to do one thing that was very important. Hold me to my verdict. That's the most important concept here. My verdict. If I meet my verdict, you must find the defendant guilty. If I fail to do so, you must acquit. So yes, here are the elements on the screen. I want to go down the line with you. You all saw the evidence. We saw the same thing. There's no issue as to the fact that the defendant, Chase Kimball was the one wielding a bat at his mother. The officer showed up on scene and he even sees it. He's still doing it. He's combative. He refuses to place the bat down. Officer Hancock testifies to the fact that that is in fact Mr. Chase Kimball. His own mother came in and testified that is in fact Chase Kimball, as did Officer Hudson. There's no issue as to the date. Everybody testified that this occurred on December 7th, 2022 in Jefferson County, Aaron Groves. Now let's talk about intentionally and unlawfully. Y'all got this jury charge. Let me go back to the liberation heresy down plan. It talks about intentional. A person acts intentionally or with intent with respect to the nature of his conduct when it is his conscious objective or desire to cause the result. He knew what he was doing. He knew he was under arrest. The officers were repeatedly telling him to put your hands behind your back. He refused to do so. He made it his conscious objective to struggle the entirety of the time that 5 officers had to get him in cuffs. 5. How much of a struggle are you causing to have 5 officers assist? Quite a bit. Keep in mind in Bordier, when we talked about the use of force, any amount of force against an officer is sufficient for a resisting. Did he prevent or obstruct? Absolutely. He made it his conscious objective to stop the arrest from happening. You hear it on the body cam. You can go back and listen to it. All of this is admitted into evidence. If you want to watch the video, I ask that you do. Ask for it. You'll see it all. You'll hear it. Again, objection to sidebar. Officer Robert Hancock, he came in and testified. I just knew he was an officer. He shows up on scene in his marked patrol unit, wearing his uniform that identifies him as a police officer for the Groves Police Department. Let's talk about from effecting an arrest. You heard from Officer Hancock. He had probable cause to establish that a Class C assault had been committed. At the time he deployed that second taser, he was attempting to effect the arrest of Chase Kimball. He didn't let it happen. You saw him, he fought the entire way to the car. He was combative the second the cops got there, he was combative the second he was leaving. The entire time. Using force, we talked about it. There was clearly force there. And we already heard Officer Hancock against Officer Hancock that was used. We talked a lot about why we even have the resisting law. Promote safety. Community safety, safety of the defendant, safety of the officer. And this is what happens. You have an officer off the job for 2 months because his use of force caused him to receive an injury that resulted in surgery. The evidence is here. He's made the statement several times throughout trial that whenever the bat fell down, he was stepping away. Watch the video. That is not what happened. The evidence shows you that after the first deployment of that taser, the bat falls. Chase Kimball makes it his effort. He goes down, he picks the bat up, he has 2 hands, and he steps to Officer Hancock. Absolutely, the officer effected the arrest. Why wouldn't he? He attempted to get him to calm down, he refused to do so. Put the bat down, put the bat down. How many times has Officer Hancock asked him to put the bat down before he has to use force? You have a mother that is scared. She testified as to her fear. He was acting crazy. I didn't know what he was going to do. Hold this man accountable. Hold him accountable. I submit to you, we met our burden beyond a reasonable doubt. Every single element has been met. So in a couple seconds, you're about to go back and you're going to deliberate. And that last page here, I'm going to ask that you find the defendant, Chase Kimball, guilty of resisting. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before the bailiff escorts you into the jury room, I must inform you that one of the persons in the jury box is an alternate. Okay, in a misdemeanor criminal case, we have 6 jurors. You notice we have 7. So one person is the alternate. The person that is the alternate will not be allowed to go into the jury room to deliberate with the other jurors. However, that person can either sit in the courtroom or sit in the hallway. The person who is the alternate is Akin Anibal Timo Lopez. Who is that? That's the gentleman right there. Okay. So everyone else, please follow the bailiff into the jury room. And the court will be in recess until the jury comes back with a verdict. Oh, I never did get that, that order. Yes. I granted it. This was a charge. I'm trying to figure out what to do. We'll put it on the back of here. You ready?
Yeah, ready?
Are we ready?
I'm sorry, I just,
Okay, here we go. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 2629. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Chase Kimball. Let the record reflect that Mr. Kimball is present in court, and let the record also reflect that Ms. Lori Perazzo, standby attorney, is also present in the courtroom. State is present with Assistant Criminal District Attorneys, Attorney Haley Simmons, and Attorney Shane Hilton. I have received a message from the jury that it has reached a verdict. Will a bailiff please bring the jury into the courtroom? Everyone, please stand.
Here you go.
Yes, say it.
I'll step one.
You may be seated. Let the record reflect that the attorney for the state and the defendant, Mr. Kimball, who's pro se, is present in the courtroom, along with standby attorney, Attorney Lori Perazzo. And let the record also reflect that all the members of the jury are now present and seated in the courtroom, 4 person. Have you reached a verdict in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is the verdict unanimous? That is one that is agreed upon by all the jurors.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bailey, could you please hand the verdict form to me? Four person, is the verdict a unanimous verdict that is agreed upon by all the members of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may be seated. Mr. Kimball, I will now read the verdict, and it states, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty as charged in the information of resisting arrest, search, transportation. You may be seated. Okay, members of the jury, at this time, the defendant has not filed a motion electing that the jury will set the punishment. And so, because that's not done, the court or the judge automatically is in the position to do the punishment. Now, State and Mr. Kimball, would y'all please come forward?